Okay, now for the second thing. I'm gonna show you the handout. You can like take a look, take your time to like look over the list and figure out what you want to take. And then after you are sure that you have taken everything you wanted, I'll just like look what's remaining, probably do some very rough calculations, like round it up, and then say how much money from the plenty of treasure piles in the Cobalt Stronghold do you get. Uh, okay, so all players show. Yeah, you should have like a handout.
Right, there we go.
You should have a visible handout. Yeah, don't look there at the coins, don't look at the values, just if you see an item that's you want to take, just write it down in chat so I can like delete it from the list. And remember to, you know, keep track of your items.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
Oh,
I just saw what you posted on Discord. Yeah, because it very rarely gets into play, but yeah, technically money's weighs, especially in large
Yes.
quantities.
which
Yeah,
is
the problem
which is why I put mine in basically put it aside in the what was it, other currency.
I mean, I suppose it's just that success has so low strength. I actually have to make sure I like fix this. But yes, he's currently carrying the money. That's the problem.
Oh
Well, not
shit,
money, but
getting
yes.
weighted down by the volume of my success, and his like
Yeah.
pockets like weighting him down.
Do we
Success suffering from success.
do we have UMD users?
I use magic device. I'm not sure. Do you?
I look at the big boar. Do you know how to use any of these magic items?
Give me 1 second.
What's with the Wand of Ray of Frost? Design provides clue to function.
Ignore
Oh,
that.
it's-
That's just like a generated addition.
It's like probably to make it easier to identify, but we already had somebody identify it for us, so it's kinda yeah. Mm-hmm.
Technically, I have points in that, but not much.
Yeah. I think you could probably use the potion. I mean, everyone can use the potions. We should probably pick those up.
But I would like to take that because I could actually, use my sneak attack.
Well, one sneak attack, but yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna edit and delete that scroll.
Do we need any more rope?
We always need more rope. But no,
All the more
I
to
don't think I
hang
need.
ourselves
What did you say, Donut?
with. All the more to hang ourselves with.
Ah, nice optimism. Ah, the
11
best.
sledges.
Or yeah, that's yeah. Hey, Donut, do you need 12 portable rams?
Didn't realize I did. Now I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we could use the whetstone.
I have not found what whetstone do to your weapon in all of my years of playing Pathfinder. I have searched for it.
At least in 3.5, I think it was used to give a +1 to attack during the next combat. Or
Let's see.
something.
Whetstone Pathfinder.
I think it's like +1 to hit on like your first attack.
It only works on a non-magical. Yeah, it's a non-magical blade gets +1 to hit on its first attack.
Yeah, that's it. Do we need a glaive?
No. I think I'll take the potion of remove fear.
Okay, write it down in chat so I don't miss it.
Yes. Give me a sec. Sorry.
Okay, so deleting that.
What scroll of vanish? What's that do?
Kind of like invisibility, but it doesn't really last that long?
One
The
round
last
per
one, yeah.
cast level.
Wait, was it a scroll of vanish?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Which as a standard action you became invisible till the start of your next turn. It's pretty useless. Hmm.
1 round per caster level.
Yeah, but it's
And
a
I,
scroll.
yeah, which are
Oh.
like
Well, always-
minimum caster level, I think.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a really dumb encounter in one of the books where it said that the thieves used their move action to pull out potions of vanish and then a standard action drink them, which means that they reappear at the same spot they drank them next turn because it's only one round of vanish. Oh boy.
Do we want any other wands?
Good question. I'm not taking anything because
don't-
this isn't my loot to touch on Nero. So
I mean, if you want anything, just take it. But yeah. More fun if everyone's involved.
Or take that very well drawn bowl of ramen beside you.
I mean, I could take the all of a line weapon if nobody else wants it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I want another potion of reduced person. Success becomes so much stronger with them. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's because you're a dex fire. That's why.
Everything is like based on dex. So yeah, I think that's all I can use from this. So yeah, anyone else find anything, or do we just close the book on this loot list and go on?
I don't think I'm going to need a heavy crossbow.
Yeah, and I can't use them till next level anyway.
Oil of a line weapon. Alright. One platinum piece is like 100 gold pieces, right?
I think it's 10.
10.
Yeah,
Alright.
it is. Yeah.
10, okay. Yeah, but for simplicity, I'm used to like giving values in gold coins, so
I mean, yeah, do
gonna
it.
stick with that.
It's just super fun when they give you electrum pieces in 5th ed, which is like what, half a gold, and nobody ever uses them.
Alright, so that's pretty much it what you want to take.
Yeah, at least on my end. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so they have like, the kobolds definitely had like a whole lot of various, sometimes pretty useless shit laying around. Some of the stuff that you get a feeling that they themselves forgot that they had. You know, kind of like in a house when that someone is like compulsive buyer or like gatherer of things, and you never throw anything out because it might be useful one day. Alright, so yeah, give me what I'm gonna like look over and do some calculations.
Well, that happens. I need to return all this shit downstairs and I'll put it back.
Yeah, if you want to like talk among each other in character, then feel free to do so. I just need to do a little bit of math.
I don't know about you, but dying doesn't get any easier.
I'm sure you'll get better at it sooner or later.
Hope not.
Just keep practicing. You got this. I believe
then-
in you. Soon you won't even need enemies to do it.
God, don't tempt me.
Uh-huh.
So, so what's your thought on this new addition? As he tilts his head over to Nero.
He seems to be pointy, and his sword too. Uh-huh. Well, I'll see what he'll do sooner or later. I'm sure he can't just sit there glaring at walls all day. Mm-hmm. How about you, Silal? What do you think about our glorious new friend?
Well, he seems pompous, and he likes to not talk as much as you. So there is a chance he might be of some use.
Mm-hmm.
And did you find anything interesting about the corpses?
Yes, everything's thoroughly dead here.
Rivet.
Success claps.
Riveting. Is that your professional? Is that your professional opinion?
No, that's just a opinion.
What's your professional opinion then?
I might throw
Oh.
like to give you like a bit of information. Yeah, these kobolds were like not unusual. They were not mutated. They're like you just like
No.
plain old kobolds. They were just like trained a little bit in tactics, so that's how they use the troop type. Like they're definitely like more normal than the orcs. No, sorry, not orcs. Goblins you fought.
Goblins.
The mutated ones, so they were obviously like the result of some outward interference. As for the chieftain, as to like also check his body, yeah, you don't have to roll because you take your time to like get a 20 on that. As you like check his body, then you basically confirm that it was not like he had some talent for arcane powers, and because of like who he was, basically that's why he had like the fire-based powers. So he was not a result. Snar was not a result of like some sort of experiment that gave him powers.
All right. By the way, was it just the Pyrohydras that were the big monsters here, or were there any other that I forgot about?
No, like here they're like big pyrohydras were like the big monsters.
All right.
Troops take a lot of space and their tokens are gargantuan, but like because they're like unit of multiple kobolds, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you still haven't answered. What's your professional opinion? Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what?
No, we asked our boy Zilal Said what's his professional opinion on all these dead bodies was.
I got distracted by something someone sent me.
Uh-huh.
Yes, they're normal vermin. Not much unlike you, Zixus, but we tolerate you.
What?
Well, considering your current size, you sort of look like vermin.
I'm not small, you're just big. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Well done.
yeah, I got distracted by trying to figure out what the hell I was doing for lunch.
And what exactly were you doing during lunch?
Nothing. I haven't eaten yet.
A
Okay.
likely excuse.
Did some calculations. I'm gonna say, even though Zach is not here with us, I'm gonna like split money for 5 people because
Yes.
I know
yes.
missing on load is like not a nice thing. So surprisingly enough, the howl from here is not as impressive as the previous one. But that's mostly because the kobolds themselves, in terms of what they had, they didn't have magical blink on them. Not really. And that's why like they don't really have anything like worthy on them. They have like the very basic like slings. Then they even have, like basically very like low quality stuff. So
Yeah.
essentially from this, each one can write up that much money. That's per head.
Perhaps Zach would have wanted something from the loot table as well. Oh well, maybe next time.
Yeah, no, it's too late for that. He wasn't here, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he really would have took anything since, his main weapon's his shield.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fair point, actually. I don't think there's really anything in that list that would have interested him.
It,
6,000 gold in the bank.
And now being heavy load. Huh.
Yeah, that feeling. How do I say when the weight of your greed takes you down because you're in heavy loads, you don't get your dexterity defense, and everyone just kills you. Reminds me of anyone here ever played Fallout New Vegas, that one DLC with all the gold in the vault?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's us when we have too much gold. Mm. Honestly, that would make a rather fun encounter, I'd say, actually. Uh-huh.
I fucking hate that DLC so much.
I mean, it was a dumb DLC, but that last encounter was really neat.
That's true. It's just the rest of it that I absolutely despise.
You don't like traps and respawning enemies in a Fallout game?
I also don't like invincible holograms that can wreck your shit.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, let me look through the wondrous items to see if I can find some good loot.
Yeah, essentially, yeah, the craft table will soon be like unlocked. But before that happens, as you like talk among each other, you have found out like interesting things. Greenstalker calls out to you, and he approaches.
In the cave?
Yeah, you're still like basically like around in this like general area.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, head ranger. How can we be of
Team,
service?
gather up. We have a debriefing to conduct.
Alright, Shirk wipes his bloody hands as he goes to the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Butchering is bloody work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not super formal. There's no like specific room. He's just like around the like open space, like in this like large chamber or like in one of the side caves. He approaches you and basically, without beating around the bush, beating around the bush, says, I distinctly remember that I mentioned that assaulting the stronghold should be done with proper manpower and with all of our forces. While you do possess the gift, we are already seeing that the enemy, and I'm getting a sneaking suspicion that I'm not talking merely about these kobolds here, have ways of keeping us in, like capturing us, disabling us for a time being. So what exactly forced you to... What exactly made you basically rush in?
Well,
Everybody looks at Azrak.
How
it's like
convenient.
well, of course, as I said to convince Astrak, we needed to save those not immortal, those trapped. Mm. Mm.
Yes, but if you have failed against the Pyrohydras and the masses of enemies, then you wouldn't have saved them either way. And perhaps they would have found a way to capture you too.
But they did not fail.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's just how good we are.
This time, in my line of work, believing you are good enough to actually succeed is not an not an explanation. What's the word I'm looking for?
Excuse.
It's not an excuse for conducting reckless action.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
You are. This is a lesson I try to imprint into every new recruit. You may be immortal, but failure can take many different. Can take many different faces, apart from being dead. Apart from death.
Mm.
Even if death is not on the table, clearly we have already seen enough to deduce that there is something deeply wrong with the situation on the island, and there must be unseen forces moving and working in the background, and we have to be wary, especially if our guild didn't manage to catch that before the expedition. Do not underestimate what we are facing. Am I clear?
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a moment of silence. I was like glaring at you. He lets out a sigh. He looks for a moment at Cheryuk, but then he doesn't stare at him directly. He just gives him a very small nod because he probably figures out that out of all of and the entire group, this one might actually, have some reservations.
Mm-hmm.
But while glaring at the rest of you, he says, well, glaring at the rest of you, apart from Cheryuk and Nero, because Nero just joined, so he says, just do not assume that there will be always cavalry coming if you overestimate your abilities or underestimate enemy. And with that, he turns around and reconvenes with the rest of the command squad. But they are very like heatedly discussing about things. Actually, yeah, as he will be like be turning around, he says, "One more thing. For now, stick around this general area. Do not venture deeper into the island. We need to like properly secure our base of operations, and that's an order."
Are we expecting a retaliation?
Retaliation unknown. But this island is proving more and more that we should expect the unexpected, and we should expect anything and everything.
Understood.
So be on your guard. We just got a place that could house hundreds of beings, and generously speaking, we might have around 50 people right this moment, so yes, we need to be on our guard, and you will be given orders, and you will be updated as the time goes by. For now, you may rest. You may establish watches. I will be talking with you soon enough. And with that, he like leaves to Vorver and Ulfgar, as they are like not frantically, but they have like a very, very, very intense, quick discussion about many things they now have to tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and just to like reiterate, if that wasn't clear, everyone that you saw in that first beach camp that you were, spending some time, they have like came with Greenstalker. So we also have like the other Eternal members that you have met. So Goldbane, Hrug, Morza are also here. And you would probably see the scene where like they are like greeting Ermir, and with varying degrees of expressions, but they seem more or less glad that he's fine, and they managed to regain one more member of their party.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to do anything else? Talk with someone or do something in this like general area in the Kobold stronghold before the command squad, so Greenstalker, Vorver and Ulfgar will be calling a general assembly to give like a status update and provide like a general information for the next steps.
Um,
Don't think so.
Yeah, I think Nero's just gonna be waiting around for something to do.
In Shurek would try to kind of use one of the anvils and some of his tools to try to craft armor with the scales that he got, because he has ranks in craft armor.
Huh.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can use
It will be like a mundane item, right? Not like a
Yeah.
not magical. Okay.
Yeah, he's not an enchanter.
Okay. Let me look at the page. Okay, what's the AC bonus you're looking for? What's the AC bonus of the thing you are making?
Let's see, what's the for scale mail? Let me check armor.
Scale mail is +5 armor/shield bonus. Plus the max dex, -4 ACP, and costs 50 gold.
All right, so it's medium armor.
Yeah.
So +5.
Okay. Yeah, you can make a check. The DC is 15.
God damn it!
Yeah.
I can take 10, could I? Can I?
Hey, you can take 10 for craft checks.
All right, then I
That would be the plan.
retcon in it, then take 10.
Actually, hold on. I mean, I believe you that you can take 10, but just want to double check. Okay, so I'm gonna believe you can take 10 for that. And also, technically speaking, there is a possible of retry because you didn't fail by
5 or more.
you only failed by 3, so you would be you could retry. But I feel for the future, is there a list where you can written down which skills you can take 10?
I
Give me a
think
sec.
I'm trying to freaking find it, but it's.
I think it's more that unless stated otherwise,
Okay.
you can take 10, I believe.
Yeah, 20 is basically presuming that you'll fail a bunch of times, but take 10 you can do unless you're in danger, basically. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think there was only a couple of skills that you can't take 10 with, but it will specifically say under that skill.
Yeah, I would say take 20 wouldn't really work for crafting because it
No.
would imply you fail many times, and by that point you just destroy ingredients, materials, if you can succeed.
Yeah, exactly right.
Alright, so I take 10 and create a scale mail with
Alright.
Pyrohydra scales.
Nice. How does it look? Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing it's the same color as the Pyrohydras. I don't know if it's deep blue or deep red. So basically, kind of a deep red with kind of some bone intrusions sticking out from the shoulder, and with a need to check how scale mail actually looks like. Yeah, so kind of like these serpentine, kind of like decorations slithering down the arms. With a couple of basic ties that you can wrap around the chest for extra comfort.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to look at the SRD and it doesn't really state what's the color of the Hydra, so I'm fine with whatever color you will go with. I would have imagined, because it was Pyrohydra specifically, so fires, I would imagine it was more on the orange-red side. But that's my idea, if you like.
Would it go for black instead? Or dark, kind of a dark color?
I mean,
Yeah, it
you
can
could
be.
probably
it can.
Probably paint it.
Yeah.
Funny-
Yeah,
funny-
you could probably paint it black for extra camouflage.
Mm,
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. Okay, one more thing. Would Zillow be at all interested in that? The thing that was, keeping Shenhua frozen in place? Technically, it's not
likely.
a body, but
Most likely he'd be interested in it.
okay. Yeah, so to imagine that you would like inspect it, because going with your ideas that you think about, figuring out how you can deal with, how to like break immortality with the power of science.
Mm-hmm.
And also, now that I think about it, I would think I'm pretty sure we talked about it, but I like, now that I'm thinking more about it, I'm like, this goal you probably don't share with a lot of people, because some may eye you with suspicion, like, okay, why do you need to know that? Seeing that we are immortal in this guild, like, motherfucker, are you trying to use it against us? Even if Zero doesn't have plans like that, it's like matter of how does it look like from outside perspective.
I would never use that knowledge for nefarious means. It's all for science.
Okay, so it will definitely be a thing of like inspecting this for like a longer period of time, and also like about like magical items and whatnot. You do have some ranks in spellcraft, knowledge arcana, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then this will be like what you'll be doing in like a downtime, to which we'll get to that in a moment, because there will be like a downtime as essentially your guys' party will have to like stick around for a couple of days and essentially help setting up the base, because there's not enough hands for work. So you might be adventurers and heroes, but sometimes that's what the hero needs to do. But getting back to Zilol, yeah, you definitely be like working with that strange claw-like, jagged, black like onyx item. Now that you like keeping it close, you believe it's like made from bone, but actually, you can make me a heal check, although I'm gonna say this will be hard one to like figure out, to like, because if this is like a bone, perhaps it belongs to like a creature, but because it's like so weird and it definitely was modified, it was worked on through magical means, I'm gonna say the DC for that will be high, like will be tough, so it will like 25.
Come on, 20.
And I'm gonna say in this case, yeah, I wanted to say like in this case, it wasn't really a matter, like for this particular case, you can't really take a 20, because you either know or do not know.
I need a 20 in order to,
Do it.
make
I
it.
believe.
Yeah,
Natural.
sadly, sadly the scope of modifications and like how it was altered with magic, it like makes it impossible to figure out to what kind of creature this claw belonged to in the first place. However, also as we are like working, yeah, also you may take knowledge arcana, but this also you can't take a 20 on that, because you either will know that or not.
Alright.
If you like get this like, okay, with a 20, you do know that whoever worked on this definitely knew what they were doing. Like, this is not a work of some like lucky up and comer. This is a work of someone well versed in the dark arts.
Yes. Good. Excellent.
Okay, but yeah, essentially you'll be like working on that. Yeah, you will like be able to figure out, like, apart from what was like to confirm that, yeah, this thing, like, if used on a mortal, you are fucked, because it like basically cuts your soul from your body, in a way, like super kills you, because this can be just like a stake and kind of like impaled in you. However, for immortals, this has an interesting property of essentially locking you in. As in, you know that your powers, your eternity works in a way when you like die, like you are restored. Also, if you are turned to stone. Actually, no, hold on. I need to like double check. Because there are some things were mentioned that yeah, killed, turned into a dead, polymorph, petrified, burned, otherwise destroyed. So over the case of a couple of days, you will figure out that Schrodinger doesn't exist in this world, but for a player, this is like, this class essentially does like a Schrodinger skill, in a way that it locks out life functions of a body, but in a way that your eternity doesn't register that you have died. So it doesn't restore you because for your power you are still alive. So kind of like a stasis thing. And while this is not like a tool to kill an immortal, this, Zillow, you believe this is like a starting point? Or even if not a starting point, this is like something that might give you ideas.
I just like gently slide into a pouch. No one knows about it.
Yeah, just so you know, I know exactly from where that claw came and who made it.
Oh.
It's not like something that I had to like come up with now, but yeah, I definitely I had an answer if you rolled well enough. Alright, if there's nothing else on your guys' side, I will like flash forward to where the General Assembly is called, if you are fine with that.
Sounds good.
Yep. Fine with me.
Alright, so yeah, General Assembly is called, so those who are like near the hall, they like hear loud callings to you. If someone was like traveling the corridors further away, you get essentially you suddenly hear like a grumbly dwarf speaking in your head that report. I fucking can't do the dwarven because on one hand they're like, oh, Dawi, but on the other they should be like this deep gravelly voice of an old dwarf.
I got you, ladder.
Yeah, something like that, but I fucking can't.
Just do a bit deeper and a bit slower, and just call it a day. Don't kill your voice for a dumb voice.
Oi,
Yeah, there we
report
go.
to the General Assembly.
Of course,
Oh, yeah.
let's go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, obviously
Oh,
you don't have to need roll to know that, because he saw
Yeah.
your faces and he's vaguely acquainted with you now. Then like sending definitely works.
I think since we've rested for a couple of days, we're at full health.
Yeah, I mean the General Assembly happens because the fight itself, clearing the stronghold, and after the fight was done, it was like very late evening. So dealing with the loot, all of that, like we went to like day 3, so it's like very, very, very early morning. So it will like be morning itself when the assembly happens. But yeah, before like any proper action will happen, when we get to like another like adventure where there will be combat, you will be like at full hit points. I don't expect we'll be doing any combat this session. As I said, this will be like a slower, more bookkeeping session. But yeah, long story short, for the purposes of like future stuff, you might as well like heal yourselves. And yeah, you basically got sending message, sending spell. So yeah, after a while, all of you are assembled. Ulfgar is present, but it's essentially, since Ulfgar was freed, the fighting was stopped, and he like is not talking. Like he's not exchanging information with the rest of the command squad. He's constantly doing something, and you know that he's basically his crafting goes into overdrive as he like looking over, trying to see where he can place basic defenses, where he can like do his workshop, his anvil,
His
planning where he,
forge.
yeah, basically his like forge. So he's constantly doing something, and he's busy as fuck. But he's like present. And Vorver merely says, "Thank you for coming. Let's make this quick." And Head Ranger, the floor is yours. Very well. As my colleague said, let's make this quick because the entrances and corridors still need to be patrolled. While a vast, still a portion of the land that we have landed upon is not explored for at least a couple of days. I believe 3 or 4. All members of the Wanderers, all members of the expedition are ordered to stay here and aid in the establishment of the base. Primarily, we will need to secure entrances and fortify them properly against any potential danger that might be coming. Setting up proper lights, potentially establishing traps in choke points or creating choke points is also a thing. And while for some of you, he looks at your party, he looks at the new blood, so Goldbane, Hrug. This might not be what you were expecting or dreaming when you started the adventurous life, but sometimes hero's work is more on the manual labor side. And considering we would have been making a landing city with hundreds and thousands of workers, but we don't have that, so we need to do with what we have. So it's essentially on all hands on deck, and everyone will need to do their part. But instead, in this case, it's not about killing monsters, but actually like aiding in building defenses. After that, when hopefully without any further interruptions or complications, when we will make sure that our base has at least some form of defensibility. Hopefully during those days somebody else might find our way. Headcrafter Ulfgar is sending messages to whom he knows and remembers. So maybe we'll be getting more visitors and survivors. And after we'll make sure that the base is somewhat protected, then our operations to explore the rest of the land and find out more about what exactly is going on may continue. Any questions so far?
None here.
None here.
None.
Very well. Apart from the task already mentioned, we were discussing what to do with the the land-based structures of the Kobold village that may be still visible. Still visible for some observation point. Gathering some building materials from there, taking out the huts may work. And basically like eliminating any visible signs that there's someone living here. So that's also something that all of us at some point will be doing. And then he pauses, hums, looks at Ulfgar. Headcrafter, if I may interrupt. If you must, Hatranger. Is there any luck with contacting other groups? Has other portions of the expeditions perhaps survived and landed somewhere else? And Ulga's like, I'm still going through the list, lad. It's gonna I can't fucking remember the voice. Fucking hell. Some are not responding. But some mentioning that yes, they are doing what we are doing now, lad. But from what they're saying, they are pretty far away. I understand. Well, then let's hope they will establish their own footholds, and let's hope that they're mages, because some of them must know teleportation. They will be able to like visit us so that we can exchange information. For now, I will be directing, giving you specific assignments. You will be exchanging, switching watch guard at the entrances every several hours. Portion of you will be keeping guard, portion of you will be assisting in rebuilding efforts. This will be a couple of tedious of days. But at the very least, we have survived and we have a foothold. That's something. Now let's ensure that we won't lose it.
Ugh.
And after that, whoever is fucking with the Eternal Wonders will remind him of why is that a mistake. So yeah, essentially the next. Let's see. Yeah, so for the essentially you have like 4 days of downtime as you are supporting in establishing the foothold, the base of operations, keeping watch on the entrances, ensuring that nothing unexpected sneaks into your base, providing hands and additional like manual labor for carrying stuff and building structures. And also, during that time, even though Ulfgar is terribly fucking busy, he is unlocked as a crafter. So if you have any commissions, you may use the wealth, the materials that you have acquired, to commission an item. And essentially, he is a crafter. Like, he essentially has all the feats necessary for crafting.
Nice. Can he craft wondrous items as well?
As I said, he's specifically built for crafting.
Right,
Even though he's like a pretty high level wizard, essentially he's not combat focused at all. And he gives like a feeling that he managed to forget more that you have ever learned. And he basically decided to hyper specialize in certain school of spells and crafting. But that school of spells is not combat focused. Alright.
Alright, in that case, I would commission a bag of holding for myself. That would be
What? You're not commissioning it for me? Come on.
125 platinum pieces.
Yeah, essentially. Let me double check because out of all allied NPCs, he actually has a sheet. Yeah, he at the very least has at least 1 rank in every crafting skill. He has 7 like maximum ranks in weapons, in armor for crafting, so he rolls with quite high number. And as for feats, and yeah, you would also notice as he's working, you basically see his familiar that he is actually assisting him. And Zixos, but if others have like spellcraft or knowledge arcana, they would probably have enough time and knowledge to figure out that this is a type of familiar known as valet or valet. How would like
A valet.
Valet, which like yeah, is can be used as like an assistant when doing crafting stuff. Yeah. So Ulfgar has like, craft construct, magic arms and armor, craft rod, staff, wand, craft wondrous item,